Well, I'm about to be mindful about these next two players. Very excited to bring y'all FX's own Sethlon versus Chucky.
Cool. Oh, God.
And already
Crowd
Jutsu,
hype.
the fellow Ness main.
Oh, gosh. He's a Ness main.
The fellow Ness main trying to give his buddy a bit of love. Chucky is one of those Ness mains who is high risk, high reward. When I think about it, some of the PK Thunder 2 setups that he does,
Yeah.
no one else would go for it.
Yeah.
No one else would think in their minds, this is an appropriate time to PK Thunder.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what makes him this wild card of sorts.
You don't know what you're going to get. Okay. So a couple themes to keep in mind with Ness is their conversions. If he manages to get his hands on you, down throw, fair, it's pretty much guaranteed at lower percentages and builds up percentage pretty quickly. You can do things like that also off of dash attack, but you have to be a bit closer for you to actually convert further off of it. There's a lot to keep in mind when it comes to Roy, though. Think of him almost as in a way that's similar to Ike. The damage that he does off of his tilts are still really good. His jabs are great, and they can be actually used as launchers and combo tools. Down tilt is still very relevant, but perfect shielding and option selecting out of perfect shield is very important to get the most out of this swordsman.
So whenever I'm looking at Chucky, whenever I'm in the eyes of a Ness main, what he's really looking for is he sees the matchup and he understands that if he plays just up close and personal, then chances are that Sethlon's going to win. He has that disjointed hitbox to deal with a lot. And because of that, he's trying to set up for some of these PK fires. He's finally able to do so, but one thing that we've seen from Sethlon that's really good, that's allowed him to maintain this lead, is notice he's already up in Chucky's face. He doesn't want to give him that room to try and even throw out that PK fire.
Correct.
Instead of spacing around the area where that PK fire is active, he's going up close and personal to prevent Chucky from even having the option of throwing it out initially.
Yeah, absolutely, because doing something like that is rather unsafe. So you figure out how to punish someone by pressuring them, getting up close and personal, and that moment that they think, oh, I can act out of shields, is when you hard call them. That's you playing poker and saying, I read your bluff, homie.
You went all in on a 2 and a 3, yeah, you're done. You're done.
So a couple things to keep in mind is that Roy has a lot of conversions into really strong kills off of forward throws. So you can do forward throws into some guaranteed stuff. Forward throw into walk forward jab, forward throw into some of the jump forward fair, as well as up B too. Like there's a lot of cool things that he has that can build percentage or even kill. So keep in mind that off of these grabs, he actually gets a lot more than he does in some of the other games. This is his best version yet, in my opinion. Back air.
Ooh,
Trying to take the stage control. That's exactly what I'm talking about, using that up D to call him out.
Chucky has really struggled when it comes to landing some of the grabs. He doesn't even need it there, though. Running off the platform and coming back strong with that rising bear. Certainly unexpected, and Sethlon's going to be going down one because of it.
So Sethlon's been doing a lot of trying to cover the get up onto stage using neutral B. The hitbox of that is actually the fire itself, not the blade. So he's trying to find that 2-frame window to cover his options. That was a great one to cover turning winner.
Man, we talk about his usage of that flare blade, right?
Yeah.
We talk about how he's able to act out of it so quickly.
Correct.
And we saw just how devastating that could be. What we saw from Chucky was he didn't want to deal with how much range that option covers, especially that kind of percent. He opts high, and he falls right into Sethlon's trap. He's able to go and act out of that flare blade just quick enough to pop the blazer and take that stock.
The thing that's so important is, and what's a big advantage of having a swordsman is, when it comes to the get-up game, the neutral B covers the get-up straight onto the stage, and that means he immediately has to shield. He has to be very cautious of that. It doesn't cover turning winner. That's why you see it's so quick of a recovery, because he then follows up with it. The other thing to keep in mind, though, is that it covers roll as well. And you can't stay at the ledge for too terribly long, because then you lose the invulnerability and you don't retain it again until you take some sort of a punishment, or you just get back and have ground beneath your feet. Side B is actually pretty cool in neutral. It's actually a really useful tool. Ooh.
This just seems so tough for Chucky, because when you go into his mind, he lost game number 1, and you have to think about what his game plan is, because he maybe wants a little bit more space so he can start using options like PK fires.
Yep.
But the problem with that is that if he gives too much space, then he finds himself in the corner, which is exactly where Sethlon wants him.
Correct.
And we've seen just how scary Sethlon can be when he's on this corner. Chucky forced recover here. How did he manage to avoid that?
It's a 2-frame window. It's really tight punishment, man.
So tight. Chucky able to get one of those grabs, but doesn't get too much off of it. Sethlon still maintaining stage control. and Chucky's gonna die.
That was a little bit of nerves and some fluster because he did it way too close to the stage, and Sethlon just went in there, went in his grill. I think that Chucky just kind of had a little picnic moment, and he didn't really react as I think he wanted to. Because even if it triggered, he would have special falled and could have snapped the ledge. But I don't know, rough situation here. He tries to cover. Sethlon's been doing a good job. As soon as he sees Chucky on the platforms, he does a good job of using bears and fairs and try to see if he can threaten him or just at least say, if I connect with this, you're toast, dude. I have a ton of rage, and you're looking pretty glassy right now.
Oh
Counter.
my God, Sethlon!
Yeah.
If that actually had worked the way that Sethlon had pictured it to work, oh man,
He's gonna lose here though.
I would have lost my cookies.
Yeah.
Stream would have needed hearing aids because how much I would have screamed. It would have been nuts.
Okay. Where's the? Oh, he's using side B also as a way to wave bounce. I don't know if that's the right term. To move his trajectory back towards Chucky. Where? See, this is what's so scary, is figuring out how to get back down to the stage, because Roy's dare, it's butt cheeks. There's no other way to really put that. So coming back to the stage, Roy has problems. He's good at being below everyone. He's just... Oh, that's actually pretty safe. Well, the spacing that he had actually wasn't safe. Oh my God. Did he just get back throw?
Roll into corner, into back throw. Yeah, we 64 now, boys. Let's go.
Oh, God. Why is that a thing? Oh, gosh.
Let's look back at that game. What was it that allowed Chucky to really claw back? Because when I think about it, I think it was his usage of the shield. He understood that at that kind of percentage, Sethlon's looking for K options. He's not really looking for grabs. And he had some great moments using that shield that may not have always made him have clean wins, but he had trades that would alleviate pressure enough to the point where he could get some of those PK fires and other options started.
Yeah, I can see how that does make sense. So what Sethlon's going to try to do more of is noticing more of the shield is coming out and try to go in for more grab setups. He's going to try to threaten a bit more and stay close, but he's also, as soon as he sees shields come up, he's going to go for those grabs. You see even there, that's what I'm talking about. He tried to go for the dash across pivot grab.
Sethlon has struggled so far to find some answers to that out of shield nair that Chucky's been employing.
Yeah.
So that's the one big thing that I'm looking for him to start punishing.
The best thing I think he could do for that is just jab, actually. Jab comes out rather quickly, and it covers a nice range directly in front of him. And it's nice. It's quicker than his tilts. So it makes perfect sense. That's a technical flub. He's going to get punished for misplacing that up smash. He didn't mean to do that. But that's the follow-ups that I've been talking about. Forward throw to fair, continue to follow up. There it is. Look at that. It's his offstage game is that Sethlon can really make some terrifying things happen. That jab was safe. You want to make sure you catch him with just the tip of it, and you're pretty safe from there. I don't know the exact frame data on it, though.
Clipping Chucky with that forward air. It's going to grant him temporary stage control, but Chucky somehow is able to get it right back. It's a bit of a dance right now towards this left side of the stage, and both players are deciding instead to move towards stage right.
Because Sethlon is just taking up space. That's exactly what he wanted. As soon as you do up B and you put yourself in a stationary position, you better believe Sethlon's going to take that. Because here's the thing, is that because Sethlon was threatening with so much rage and percentage and the disjoint and doing a great job of spacing, it pushed Chucky to the edge. He's forced to give up all of his real estate, and Sethlon came in and just capitalized.
Man, and I just love the sequencing of events. Game number 1, Sethlon had free reign because he played so close to face and so aggressively. And in game 2, we saw some great shielding from Chucky. And the response in game 3 has been that grab game that you touched on, Neptune.
Yeah.
And look at the payoff that Sethlon currently has for it.
The other thing that he's doing that's very important is he's staying just outside of the range of all of Ness's normals. However, if he were to throw out PK Fire, he was close enough to jump in and punish. This is the same thing that you do against Spaceys with Falco and whatnot. Because a lot of Falcos have a reliance on lasers. They love using that whenever they're approaching, yeah? The thing is that lasers aren't safe by any means. You got to be very careful about what projectiles you're using. And baiting them out, even better because then you get the hard punish.
Oh, this could be a hard punish, but Chucky going for that dash attack. I'm surprised that he went for that option instead of, say, a grab. But there's a grab. He goes for the forward throw, understanding that the back throw won't be getting the KO that he was looking for.
Yeah, he wanted just to get stage presence. It didn't matter what he did at that point. Ooh. He'd rather not have the move stale is also the other big thing.
Bit of footsies from both players. Sethlon walking away with the nair. He nearly gets the KO, but Chucky somehow able to still survive. A grab. It's not going to net Sethlon very much. It gives him a moment. And there's the punish.
He's been swinging so hard the entire set, looking for that 2-frame gap. He finally gets it. It took him all set, but persistence pays. Great finish from Sethlon, catching with that Flare Blade.
It's true, and Chucky got a little too comfortable, I feel, with that particular getup option. He got too comfortable with that getup into the shield, and that time Sethlon, he adjusts the timing just enough to catch him and punish him for it. Roy is our boy as Sethlon takes that set 2-1.